to do with social networks. You see, we've got the social network amongst ourselves, but unfortunately it's slowly dying out and it's being replaced by other social networks. Now I first need to elaborate on what a social network is. A social network in our day and age, in our understanding, is where technology provides a platform for several people, several hundreds and thousands of people to be in constant communication around the world. Whether they do that with a cell phone, or whether they do that on the computer, whether they do that with the other type of electronic device, but they can communicate with each other. They can communicate with anybody that has a similar type of a device, anywhere around the world. So in the past, if somebody goes on Hajj, and for example, they needed some money, they would write a letter, and then 2-3 months later, the letter would arrive in Cape Town. Then the people in Cape Town would send the money up, and then by the time the money reaches there, the person is back in Cape Town already. Because this was a letter that had to be taken from person to person and across the ocean and so forth. Today, I can stand right here and I can pull out a cell phone and I can phone somebody that's sitting in the haram and I can speak to that person right now. Forget that. I can look at the Kaaba live from my cell phone to that person's cell phone. I can speak to not only one, but 10 to 100 people, for example, that's sitting in the haram right now, and we could chat about what's happening, and what the khutbah is going, what the khutbah was like there, and what the khutbah is like here. We can do that. It's possible. And we can send each other's photos, and we can see each other at the same time. And we can send voice messages, and we can send video messages, and we can send pictures live, instantly, because of technology. So this is a social network. Everybody is connected as long as they have this device and they have a network, some network provider. Whether you have a Facebook network or just your normal email or Mixit or WhatsApp or Twitter, there's so many nowadays. These are all networks. So this is becoming one of the most popular forms of communication and spending of time in our day and age. Today, I am almost 100% sure. I'm almost 100% sure that people spend more time on social networks these days than they do with television. So in the past, when we would speak about people watching TV all the time, now we speak about people being on social networks all the time. So this can all be represented by one social network. Let me take Facebook, for example. Now, Facebook was created and founded by this guy, Mark Zuckerberg, this Jewish guy. And he was a student at Harvard University in America, and he started this in 2004. The idea behind this website was to have the students in the university get to know each other. So they see the person's face, and then they get details about the person, and they can chat to each other, and it becomes like a friend type of thing. But this spread rapidly because it was a new thing, Kullu jadidin ladid. Every new thing is delicious. So they were very much attracted to it, and it spread until it included all the universities in America. It started in 2004. By the end of 2006, it was all over the world. It was all over the world. And everywhere in the world, people knew about Facebook. So the aim behind this was to get people connected and to get people chatting and to get people socialized and to get in touch with old friends and to keep track with people, and you can communicate it's very inexpensive to communicate in this form. And you can send pictures and you can send videos and you can chat and so forth. Now already everybody sitting here might think that I'm saying everything about this is bad. But that's not what we're saying. You see, just like the knife or the scissor or the TV or the fork or the fire, you can do good with it and you can do bad with it. It's just a tool. It's just a tool. But there's striking differences between this tool and other tools. And this is what I want to highlight. Firstly, the good points. The good point is that, alhamdulillah, on this with this facility, some shuyukh and da'is, they have, their network, they have their Facebook page and whatever, and daily they're uploading messages. So for example, Navaid Aziz and Mufti Menk and so forth, they've got messages on these networks, and then lots of people become, attached to them, and then daily they go and read these messages. So they go and read a hadith, or they go and read an ayah of the Quran. So the youth, they are attracted to this. These are some of the benefits. It's easy to make da'wah on this. You can spread a message quickly. You can invite people to a class, for example. We advertise some of our classes here on Facebook, for example. So you can invite people to a class, you can invite people to a march, you can invite people to a dhikr, and so on and so forth. And many, many youth, because they have access to it, they'll know about it quickly. You can spread beneficial books and articles. You can spread other beneficial websites to each other. And you can easily communicate between friends and family where ties have been broken. So for example, if you're in a feud with some brother of yours, it's now easy to stay in touch with that brother. For example, these are some of the benefits. Some of the harms, so some of the obvious harms are the following. Number one, you are public property now, because you're on the network. If I type in your name on the internet, if I type in your name in Google search, I can instantly find you on Facebook. I can see who you are. I can see who's this person, Muhammad, whoever. I can go and see who you are. I can get personal details from you, where you live, for example, what yourself, depending on what information you put there. I can find that out. I can find out whether you're married or single. And in the case of the youth, which they do advertise, whether you have a girlfriend or a boyfriend, wa na'udhu billah. I can find out what movies you like, what music you like, and so forth. These are all the type of information that people put on there. In fact, they put on what they're eating at the moment, what they're drinking at the moment, where they are, what they're seeing, what the score is of the match on the TV, what they did last night, or what they're going to do tonight. All of this information is found there. And it's anybody that's got Facebook, they possibly have access to your information. This is one danger. The other danger is the obvious danger of intermingling between males and females. You're in a safe spot. Nobody's around. You're not alone with a lady in a room, but you're alone with her chatting. So you see who this lady is, and the lady sees who this man is. And then you read some information about her, she reads some information about you, and the chat starts. And photos get sent, and videos get sent, and the chat continues, and it starts building up in intensity. And a study was done by the National Center for Social and Criminal Research, that's the NCSCR from Egypt. And this study was done over a few weeks, where they noted some serious consequences. And amongst these consequences, they found that 1 out of 5 divorces in our day and age, this study was done last year, 1 out of 5 divorces in our day and age is a direct result of social networks, especially Facebook. Where especially the husband, in most instances the husband, he would go onto this network and he would start speaking to his high school romances, for example. And he would start speaking to old flings that he had, wa na'udhu billah. And he would start rekindling these relationships. And then it's just I'm just bringing contact, I'm just saying salam, ufa. But that salam, ufa changes, it revolves, it increases. And then the relationship starts taking a new level. Let's meet. And that let's meet carries on and it goes further and further. And this is all done alone. Until eventually it's too late. So 1 out of every 5 divorces in our day and age is a direct result of social networks, especially Facebook. And I've personally dealt with at least 3 cases of couples that are now divorced. The one case, the couple is divorced. The other 2 cases, it was just a matter of, this is a problem in the relationship. Because of the husband having flings and chatting with women on Facebook. So this is possible dangers. Then also the Yahud, the Israelis, the Zionists, they actually use these social networks. Number one, when you go to Israel or Palestine, before you come in, they do a background check on you. They check your status on Facebook. If they see you involved in too much Islamic